Unless you're the type of person who prefers plain bagels with no topping, rarely has your own opinion, and hosts parties without music, you probably agree that sitting in commuter traffic sucks. And the car you drive can't help that, unless you bought certain colored exterior lights, but don't tell anyone I told you that. But if you're sitting in traffic, would you rather have a boring, silent commuter car or a daily that looks good and can make nice chop music at the back? Well, for those who want more fun, lively commutes, here are the 7 best V8 American sedans for daily driving. Let's get into it. Let me know afterwards if I missed any good cars and what videos you want to see. Here's one of my typical car disclaimers with cutoffs and stuff like that if you don't already know it. And delivering a sharp blow to the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy always does mean a lot. I also added a few foreign car mentions at the end if you want more ideas, and one car to probably steer away from. Getting right into it for today, the first car is one of the top 3 most popular recommendations, and it's the 08 and 09 Pontiac G8 GT. These kind of have a great mix of everything. They've got the great looks, a great LS2 engine, okay interior, even though I'm not crazy about that wheel, and prices aren't all that bad, but they do seem a little higher than they used to be. The main downsides owners point out from these are mostly that replacing body panels can get really expensive, the front bumper paint is thin, and the front struts get worn, but otherwise they're very highly spoken of. They've got 6-liter V8s that made 361 horsepower originally, and after getting an extra pair of cats mid-2009, that dropped the power to 355. But we both know those cats would come off the same day you got one of these home anyway. Next up is probably the dailyable V8 sedan that most people think of, and it's the Dodge Charger. For these, there's a huge range of options with 2 generations built from 2006 to 2024 and so many trims. If you had the money for a Hellcat and wouldn't mind the expenses of dailying one, well, you're probably already doing that. But if you're not, the RT would probably be the best option for you to still have the V8, but if you don't want to spend so much extra on a daily. If you care about speed, most people would say pay a little extra for a 392, but personally, if I was on any kind of budget for a V8 daily, I'd take a facelifted RT to enjoy the sound. If you had a tighter budget but still wanted one, the pre-facelifted ones can usually be found for $10K or less in decent condition, and some older SRT8s with 6.1-liter Hemis aren't too far off those and have better reviews. The main reliability issue people talk about with the 5.7-liter Hemis is actually 2 kinds of ticks. One is from the exhaust manifold or manifold bolts cracking, and the other is from the lifters, which can be helped with certain oils or lifter upgrades. All of that just to say, if you want one of these bad enough, it shouldn't be completely out of the question for that, because otherwise owners talk highly of the reliability. And there's also the Magnum, in case you want the extra wagon cargo space. And yes, I realize I just grouped like 6 cars and trims into one, but that's what's so great about these. You can spend more for more power or a higher trim, go for the cheapest RT that still makes big boom sounds, and did I forget about the nearly identical Chrysler 300s, which are perfect for any higher class luxury commuters who show up to parties like... Felicitations, malefactors! As the third car here, we've got the iconic Crown Vic along with the similar or matching Mercury Grand Marquis, Marauder, Lincoln Town Car, and Continental. I get that to commit to buying one of these, you have to have a strong desire to own one. I really don't think everyone would appreciate it. The newest ones aren't that old when talking about older cheap cars, but because they made these for so many years, it's kind of hard to not think of them as all being from the late 90s. I think most people would say town cars and Grand Marquis are above Crown Vics because the Vics were mostly police cars, with the Marauders at the top, mostly since they had those 4-valve V8s from the New Edge Mach 1 instead of the sad peasant 2-valve V8s. And the Continentals seem to be below the rest of them since they don't actually use the rear-wheel drive Panther platform and are front-wheel drive instead. But of the 4 main Panthers, anyone who's owned them seems to talk very highly of the reliability and ride comfort, and you can get good condition Vics for like $4,000, the other 2 for maybe 5 to 7, and the Marauders are mostly more than 10K. But before taking on any ex-cop car, do a lot of your own homework so you know what to look for and what to expect. The downsides are the MPG you get will be quite stinky, but you're kind of asking for it when you sign the papers for one of these, and they don't make impressive power for their weight. Now going from the least expensive cars here to the most expensive, next is the Chevy SS made between 2014 and 2017. After the options I've already talked about, you could be really questioning why you'd spend 40 grand on a 10-year-old LS3 Chevy sedan. And frankly, I wouldn't blame you. I love these, but I do think the price definitely creates a steep barrier to entry. A lot of people compare these to the G8 GXP, which also had an LS3, and say why pay extra for an SS, but when I looked, I was able to find probably a quarter as many or less GXPs for sale as SSs, and they were still going for close to 40k anyway, so at that point, no question, I would just take an SS. Also, the price is high, but if you're someone who'd otherwise want a $15,000 daily and a $20,000 fun car, is this that much worse? There are trade-offs both ways for insurance, repair cost, you can only drive one at a time, and life simplicity, but at the end of the day, if this was the dream car for you and you were in a position to afford it, would it really be that wild to spend that money? Anyway, next up is another sedan on the cheaper side, and it's the 06 to 11 Cadillac DTS. I'll start by saying this, these do have North Star V8s, but
You serious?
I know, that might sound bad if you've ever heard of what most people say about these, but the main North Star issue of leaking was fixed between 04 and 06, depending on who you ask, but these were made from 2006 on. Because of that fix, these DTSs are said to be really great and reliable cars by owners. And most of the time, the people who do still talk poorly about these will just be very vaguely like, those North Stars they're all trash. But really, these are said to be great cars, and they're very easy to find for cheap with under 100,000 miles. The next one is another potentially controversial one, and for a few reasons I wanted to keep them separate from the other cars here, but I'll keep this one quick just because if you don't love it, you'd never buy it. It's the 11 to 17 Chevrolet Caprice PPV, which was only sold as a police vehicle, hence the PPV standing for police pursuit vehicle. They came with 6-liter V8s, which are the same as the Pontiac G8s, that was a little rhyme there, but I didn't combine them because these are police cars and I like the G8s so much. Even with these being retired police cars and requiring more work to turn into a more regular, comfortable daily, these are probably the third most common answer I see for cheap V8 cars and V8 daily driver sedans. Prices aren't that crazy, usually sitting between $8,000 and $13,000 for one with lower miles and in good condition, which is a decent discount from the G8's prices considering you still get a fun, cheap V8. Just again, 100% do your research. And as what I'd easily call the best daily driver V8 sedan, it's a car that needs no introduction, even though I totally just gave it one. It's the Gen 2 Cadillac CTS-V. From earlier cars, you might have thought, wow, the SS or 300s must have the best interiors here, or no way any V8 sedan under 60k would have a better stock engine than a 392 or LS3.
Well, prepare to have your mind blown, little lady.
Because, at least with my taste, these CTS V2s have it all. From an awesome interior to a sweet, supercharged 6.2-liter LSA V8 under the hood, really awesome looks, and overall great reliability reviews from owners. And since we're talking about sedans, I don't even have to acknowledge the unfortunately bulging and slightly disproportionate coupe rear end. So things are even better. Sorry if you like those, it's just my opinion. I'll admit, dealership prices for these seem to be around 33 to 40k, and as you go closer to my mileage cutoff of 100k, they start to go as low as 28,000. And they're not the most common cars out there, especially compared to the Chargers. But I'd still have to keep these at the top of my list, keeping a reasonably large, potentially daily driver budget in mind. If you love these and have a smaller budget, Gen 1 Vs go for like 14 to 20,000 and still have decent interiors, and if you have a much bigger budget, it'd be tough to beat Cadillac CT5 Blackwing, CT6V, or especially their CTS V3 with its crazy mean looks and LT4 V8. All I can say though is if I had grandparents who happened to buy one of these Gen 2s, not really knowing what they were buying, but wanting a nice, comfortable retirement sedan, I'd have to try real hard to not get into my, let's say, confident negotiator face whenever I saw them.
Can I think about it? 5, 4, 3, 2, now, say it. Do it now.
As quick foreign alternatives that are very popular recommendations, we've got the Lexus LS430 or 460, older Mercs, or the Volvo S80, which has the engine that was the base for the Noble M600's engine. And for the car to stay away from, unfortunately, it's the Lincoln LS, which I've seen good reviews on from other sites, and I've recommended it with contingencies in the past. But every time I've talked about them in videos, a lot of past owners have really dug into how bad they were overall, so here we are. Anyway, please let me know if I missed any good ones, and if you agree the CTS V2 is the best semi-affordable V8 sedan. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.